Okay, quick music disclaimer here. I do not own the rights to this music, which belongs to the rightful owner, who is the intoxicating mind of Dr. Frankenstein. So he made my intro and my outro, and I hope you guys enjoy. Check him out on Spotify and YouTube, and no copyright infringement is intended. Have a good day.
Clear choice of good versus evil, of right versus wrong.
Twisted Tales.
Welcome back to Twisted Tales, folks. So my next tale here, we're going to do Tom Barrett. So I recorded this one earlier with Trusting Evil podcast. So they're available on Spotify there, and they get a Facebook page, and I put the link to their show in the descriptions here, so be sure to check them out at the end of the episode. So this is what we recorded earlier, so have a wonderful day, folks. Awesome.
Hello and welcome to Trust and Evil.
I'm Bryony.
And I'm Sam.
And today we have a very, very special guest.
Special guest, we do indeed. So we wanted a guest host on for bloody ages now, didn't we? And I made it happen all by myself. All by myself. I've done all the technical side of it and everything. It's all been great. You want to kill me a little bit, don't you?
I am looking at you like I want to kill you.
Yeah, just a bit, just a bit.
Right. So we have Chris from Twisted Tales on. Say hello.
Hi. Hello.
As we're on our podcast, do you want to say a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah.
And then we can say a little bit about our podcast. And then when we share it on our pages, everybody will know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, I just usually do like murder cases, missing people, folklore, stuff like that. So, I mean, normally I did it around Canada and whatnot, but kind of did some United States and other places, like just had different requests for different shows and stuff, right?
So why did you start a podcast? There you go. There's a question for you.
Boredom, really. And then I was listening to a bunch of other shit, and I was like, you know what? I was like, nobody's ever really done one on like this guy or that guy, you know what I mean? So like then I just started slowly doing it and getting there. So I think it's coming along anyway.
So we have a running joke on ours because I one day said to Sam, we could do a podcast. Do you want to do a podcast with me? And she was like, yeah.
Absolutely not.
And I was like, it'll be easy. It's well easy to do. And she was like, all right, cool. And then we did it. And then we realized it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's fun.
No, it's not. I don't really think people realize how much time it takes.
It does.
A lot. For like, even if I'm fucking around and doing like a 20-minute episode, like usually that takes me like 2 hours of like research and going down and looking at shit, trying to fact check and make sure everything's fucking reliable. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. I said we should have had a podcast where we don't do like cases and stuff. We just talk shit to each other. That would have been so much easier. But we went down the road of true crime.
Yeah. And then you gotta do the cases. I get it.
And also we have found we do a few episodes where we just chat and have a little general chat about life and stuff. And actually people really enjoy it. I think some people get invested in you as a person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're quite mysterious and never give anything away, I would rather listen to somebody that sort of brings their own life into the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is what Chris does actually, because you know a lot of the places that you speak about, don't you? Because they're either from your hometown or where you live now. And I'm right, aren't I? You grew up in Australia and then moved to Canada.
No, I've always lived in Canada.
Oh, I would maybe think you're Australian.
No.
We did just say you have a very soothing voice, though.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you very much.
You have a very, it's very
like
nice.
Smooth, isn't it?
Yeah, very smooth.
Smooth voice.
Yeah, very nice voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, so we started. I think it was in 2019, 20, because I think it was sort of lockdownish time.
Yeah.
Or when we were just coming out of lockdown, when we could actually record together.
Yeah.
And then we've had some massively ups and downs, and sometimes we thought, is it even worth doing?
Yeah.
But then we always come back to it and do it. And also as well, our listeners are very forgiving if we don't post a case.
Yeah, they are. Bless them.
So, Chris, do you post weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
Well, weekly, definitely. I'll probably do like 2 episodes a week, if that, maybe. Sometimes 3, depending. Some of them are
Really
short or
good.
whatever.
That's really good if you can do it. We used to do weekly, didn't we? But it was just, I don't know,
It's
full-time
too
job.
much.
And
Like,
yeah, getting the two of us
working
together
a
as
lot
well
and
was a
everything.
nightmare.
Yeah, like working a lot and everything. It takes its time, and then you got to find time for this, and it's just
Yeah, and I
There's
listen to a
always,
lot of
there's
podcasts
always
about
time.
him, and I think
Mm.
I'm going to do a case on that, and then I'll listen to somebody's done it, and I'm like, oh, so then you don't want to do it. I remember I released Jodie Arias. I released Jodie Arias, and another quite a bigger podcast released it like a day before me, but we'd already recorded, and I was like gutted, not because they've released it, just because of how much time and effort I put into it, and then it's like, oh damn it.
Yeah, definitely. So what draws you to a case, Chris? What sort of makes you think, oh, that's interesting?
Well, usually I'll thumb through whatever people send me, right? And there was this case here that nobody really covered back home, but like everybody knew of this guy and shit. So there's a lot of.
Oh, hold on, Chris, if you're there, it's cut off. Bear with us.
Technical difficulties.
Technical. I wonder if it will come back.
No, it's still here.
Oh, yeah,
hey.
you're there. That was a technical difficulty, but
Don't know what
we'll
happened
roll
there.
with that because that's how we roll.
Yep. So you said people send you cases, you thumb through them.
Yeah, and there's a couple here like that. Some of my friends kind of knew, and shit like that. So some guys knew this guy, or like, there's just cases that people send me, right? So you just go through them, and then a lot are lesser known and everything. Like everybody just does all this, like Ted Bundy and all this other shit. Like I'll get to him someday, yeah, but like it's just little shit that's kind of interesting, right? Like,
yeah.
Do you find though that sometimes, but you have to actually really be invested in that case? There's cases you can do that you're not really like. It just doesn't. You don't get that feeling.
Yeah.
Yo, definitely. Like, there's a bunch of cases that I do here. Like, fuck, there's a couple that stuck with me, like, because of all the details and everything. Like, because when I do it, like, I'll try to get them as detailed as I can, find as much research and shit as it comes, right?
Yeah, and then you get one asshole in the comments that go, "That was wrong."
Definitely.
Yeah. And do you know what? I get really frustrated with all the negativity
You do.
that is drawn with a podcast, and I think people do it more because they know that I bite to it.
Yeah, it stresses you the fuck out.
So people, yeah, they do it more to me. But we had a case, Star Hobson case, which we did, that was a little girl here, and that was a really big case at the time, and we covered it whilst they were in court in trial.
Mm-hmm.
And we had police get involved with us, and family members trying to find out where we lived.
Oh, it was awful, wasn't it?
Facebook pages being made.
Tried to get social service onto us. It was absolutely mental.
And this was all because they didn't like the fact that we were out in the 2 people that killed this poor little girl.
Oh, shit.
And you think, I get it, it's your family, and you want to try and believe that they didn't harm that child, but the evidence is just so strong. You couldn't.
It is. The evidence is the evidence. You can't alter it.
And I think for a family to stick up for somebody that much and put that much time and effort into trying to find us and trying to make us look bad, and it made me want to cover children even more then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed like a lot of your cases are like around that general.
Yeah, I know. Because I just think there's so many podcasts that shy away from it.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch here. Like I've met a couple, like not met a couple, but like I've seen a couple like that are like, oh, cool, like this guy did this case, right? And you check it, and it's like, fuck me, just wicked, like graphically fucking detailed about everything, like rape and everything. Like I can't, nah.
Yeah, see, I try to be as detailed as I can with trying to respect the child, but the only reason why I do it is because if you're covering a case and it's a child involved, and you say, so he beat the child and the child ended up dying, to me that is not fair on the child, because that child would have got abused probably for quite a while. And I think the detail that you put into that is because you want people to understand that these monsters are
doing this,
are killing these children.
They're not just beating them, they're doing it,
Yeah.
which is bad enough on its own, but they're doing it in the worst way. It's real torture.
Yeah. That's what I try and get across. And I think for England, obviously, like I said to you before, we had a little chat off recording, and I said, we're very behind on podcasts and we're very behind on covering cases in England. They don't get the attention that they should. I don't know about where you live, but they get sort of a 5-minute section on the news and that's it.
There's a few that get like fucking tossed aside and whatever, or like, here's a couple little bit on it and then it's just, that's it, right?
Yeah, and that frustrates me even more because I think, I get it that no one wants to hear about it, and I do understand that, but also these people, especially where we are, and I think Canada's the same with sentencing, they're not very strong on the sentencing.
Depends. I mean, there's some of our justice system's a fucking joke, but I mean, that's pretty much anywhere you go.
I know, but just think of America when you get life, but life is life.
I was literally just about to ask that. What is life in Canada, Chris?
25 years.
Yeah, same.
I don't think it's 25 years here, is it?
I think it's 20, 25. I'm sure it's 25 years.
I'm pretty sure it's 25.
I thought it's 15, but maybe it is 25. But they won't do 25 here ever. I mean, look at, again, I'm just bringing it up again because it frustrates me. Star Hobson, both of them for killing her. One got like 8 years and she's done 4 already, and the other one got 11 years.
Ridiculous.
Oh shit.
And they really did torture that child.
Yeah.
Huh.
Crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, so
back to you. That's us. That's us. Back to you. What's your case? Lay it on us, Chris.
I'm doing one here on a guy named Tom Barrett. So this guy here, well, like a lot of people back home, he was like a career criminal pretty much from like fucking day one, right?
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily day one, but I mean, like, everybody grows up different and shit. So I mean, depends on like, your home life, mostly, everything else too. And I don't really know him personally, whatever, but like a lot of my buddies told me stories. They messaged me about shit. So I mean, I had to check all that shit out too, like just to try to make it factual and shit. Like a buddy of mine from back home, like we got to talking about Tom, and my friend mentioned that like you just always be on edge, like if he was at a party or something and that guy was there, he'd just kind of give off like a weird vibe or whatever, right? Or
like an alpha,
he'd be like,
maybe like an alpha vibe, like I'm the man.
Yeah, and like he kind of be like unpredictable or whatever, right? I mean, it just depends on like.
So were people afraid of him, or just thought he was a bit like weird?
Bit of both.
I know
Definitely.
I get at parties like that. Trust me. Sam, maybe not, but I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like some of that maybe like stem from like drug use, booze, like getting messed up on like pills and shit like that. Like I don't know, just people love to get fucked up and shit, right? Depends. Like everybody's got messed up once or twice, right? But
Samantha, not Samantha.
Not on drugs, but I've been off my tits on alcohol.
Oh yeah, but that's different. Alcohol and drugs are completely different feeling.
I'm sure. I don't know.
You don't know. Samantha doesn't know, but keep going. I'm with you.
Yeah, like most of this went on like mostly through his 20s, mid 30s or whatever. Like anyway, like it would just kind of land the guy in trouble. But like drugs and other addiction, like they can totally rewire your fucking brain. Like that's a fuck ton of like drug use or whatever. Right?
I'm gonna say now 100%. My daughter's dad, it has messed his whole life up through drugs.
Yeah.
Shit,
it's really sad as well. He is so paranoid and so sketchy all the time. It's just I look at him and I just think like you're just a mess.
He is a mess. He's the biggest loser, isn't he? And it's so sad. It's sad. It really is. And we all know the science behind it. Like drugs will do that to you, whatever, but especially the younger you start using them, the more chance it's got of really, really affecting who you are.
Also, I think as well, Chris will probably vouch for me here. I think if you're into sort of like techno-y, hardstyle, drum and bass, any music like that, drugs are just part and parcel of the lifestyle of
mostly.
You know?
Rave
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's kind of true on that, yeah.
So go on then. So he's in his 20s, 30s, yeah?
Yeah, and like, kind of thinking like the way that he turned out, like, I'm just kind of like looking back here, like people were messaging me about like his home life and shit like that. I mean, that obviously plays a part in like structuring and balancing like the adult that you become, right?
Definitely.
Like for some, they view
Nurture?
Tom as like,
What would you say, nature or nurture? Would you say one or the other or both?
I believe it would be a little bit of both on that part.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm glad you said that.
More so like you, well, everybody's like a creature of habit, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like a lot of people like they view Tom like as he is now, like, but not like what he was when he was younger and shit like that. Like, obviously, he was probably a good kid growing up and everything, right? Like, you just gotta wonder like how everything went in that. Like, I had a message from someone like who actually knew Tom like when she was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she'd see him around the neighborhood and whatnot. Like, this was before she ended up moving away. So like she remembers Tom as like a very caring person, all that shit, like sweet guy, whatever.
Really?
But I mean, there's times that she would see him like either I believe she mentioned like she had like a couple broken bones or whatever, bruises or whatever, and you know, mainly from like fighting and shit like that. Or she was like kind of, what is it here? Like she thinks that he got like beat as a kid, I guess, but it's hard like going into that about shit or whatever. But
do you know if his parents were together?
I have no clue.
So
I heard like a couple people.
I would wonder if his mum and dad maybe weren't, and maybe the men that his mum had in the house could have played a part if that was the case.
If that was the case, I'm not too sure on that. Like I had one girl message me like that she like lived around him, but she was like never at his house or whatever. But like people in that neighborhood like knew like not to go around that house. So like when they walk by, they go on like the other side of the street and shit like that.
Yeah.
So something was definitely going on there.
Well, yeah, like, and she mentioned like the last time that she seen him, like she remembers like him crawling across the street to like a nearby field or some shit. I guess he was stabbed with something. Not necessarily sure what, but like she said he was like really scared to go home or whatever. Like they talked and everything, but like I don't know, all that shit would just definitely weigh on your mental health. Like it's got to be one fucking weight to carry around if that's happening. I'm not saying it is or whatever, right? But I mean, this is just I'm going off of like comments that people have personally messaged me on and everything. So
yeah,
people that knew him.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, like a lot of this shit just goes unnoticed back then. Like it's not dealt with as it should be, and it'll just get swept under the rug sometimes. You know what I mean?
I think as well, like because we've got a lot of younger listeners, like as in sort of like 18 to 25. And I think even though we're only sort of
in
10
this
years
next
older,
bracket,
I think they need to remember what it was like when we were growing up. Like you were allowed to just go out and you come back when the lights come on or come back sort of 10, 11 at night. And now I wouldn't dream of letting my 14-year out at 11 at night.
No.
Yeah.
And it was, I think with every sort of group, like every 10 years on, things get a bit safer, or not safer actually, but we get a bit more, I think we recognize, we see fear more and we see what could be. And
I've said many times on this podcast how many times I was followed. It wasn't you, I think it was Stacey, but you know, sorry, I'm going to go off on a tangent now here, Chris, bear with me. So you know rented car park, and you know that car park, we were sat up on that wall, so it's quite a high drop. I'm sure it was me and Stacey and not me and you.
No, not me.
And we could hear this noise, but we were sort of like thinking there was people around, like kids, whatever, in the school, and then there was like cars driving past, and then all of a sudden we were sat by this van. The van door just slowly opened, and it felt like it lasted forever. We just both looked at this van door opening and then sort of just looked at each other and just jumped and ran. And I thought, who the fuck was in that van? And was that just an opportunity that they thought they could grab a girl?
Scary, isn't
Like,
it?
how scary is that? The van door just started opening. It was the most scariest thing I think that's ever happened to me in my life.
But yeah, and I think I've had stuff like that happen, and I know a lot of girls that we went to school with did as well. It just seemed to be normal, didn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck were our parents thinking? Like,
Well, I said, I don't know about you, Chris, but I didn't know a paedophile to me when I was growing up was the weird 50-year-old man up the road that would watch you.
Yeah.
It wasn't the older boys that you shouldn't have been hanging around with that were
Yeah.
like 20, 25.
Yeah.
Just all the older fellas and shit.
Yeah. Dodgy old man up the road, not the sort of 25-year-old boy that was trying to make you sleep with him.
Yeah. do you know what I mean? It's just like things have changed so much, and probably this guy, I mean, I would say there was, like you say, there's obviously something going on at home
Yeah.
to make him not want to go home. But like you say, did that shape him into who he was, or was he always just going to be an oddball anyway?
Yeah.
I'd say, well, it depends. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to think here. Well, like, even this girl here that we were talking about, like, she remembers him as, like, very fucking, like, a really good friend and everything, right? So obviously he was just not all, like, fucked up or whatever, right?
Obviously able to make friends and hold on to those relationships in some capacity.
But some people just do have a temper that not many people see very often, but it is there when provoked to a degree.
And I think everyone has the potential. You have different faces for different crowds, don't you?
Yeah, like I'm quite placid. I know I come across as a bit of a dick, but I'm quite placid. But when I rage, you see me, I'm like a whole different person. Like, I worry sometimes about myself. Like, when I really rage, I just see red and I don't remember.
Yeah, you do. You go completely balmy.
I just go nuts.
Where
so
I'm more thought out than you are.
Yeah,
I'm very much. I can sort of sit back, look at the bigger picture, and think strategically, how am I going to play this one? Definitely. How about you, Chris?
I have my moments.
Would you say that you rage and see red, or would you say that you sort of like build up to a rage and then have a sort of a rage and then go down?
Second one, kind of.
Yeah.
I keep a lot of shit inside, so
yeah, I do. I do. I'm very like reserved, aren't I? Like that. Like, I wouldn't come to you and be like, I'm really sad today.
No, God, you
wouldn't. No, but I'd ring back in tears, crying, screaming down the phone that something's happened.
Yeah,
but there wouldn't be a build up to that.
Yeah,
it would just be like, ah!
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, so like I say, some people have always got the potential to have that rage,
and some people haven't. Some people, like you said, it really is their upbringing. It really is what happened to them rather than their personality.
I think mine would be my upbringing, though.
Oh, for sure. Well, everybody's upbringing defines who they are as an adult, one way or the other.
Yeah, like, I was never abused as a child. That was never the case. My mum was always at work.
Yeah.
Always at work.
She was just absent, and not because she was trying to be. She was the only parent. She had to earn money, and that was just the way it was.
Yeah. So I think, that shapes you a lot, because I sort of brung myself up, was it, in a way.
Yeah.
I remember we had a nanny for a little bit when we were younger, but when we were sort of like 12, 13, 14, I brung myself up.
Yeah.
So, when you were always around.
I was always around, yeah. And your mum had no idea I was there.
No.
Carry on, Chris.
Yeah, no, like, even like statistically, like, home life does play like a part and all that, like family origins and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't necessarily have to mean like your biological parents or everything. It just mean like whoever raised you growing up too, right?
Yeah, it's your predominant adult, the adult that you trust. And usually the mother, but not always.
No, and sometimes as well, like I say, your parents are absent, so you're brung up by your oldest brother, your older sister, your friends group. That's how you sort of shape yourself.
It is. It's you form your attachments, and that forms how you attach to other people. Yeah, regardless who they are.
I said to Sam once, before it really upset her, I was trying to send you something, but I couldn't send it yesterday. And I said to her, if we ever fell out, I'd just forget you within about a week. And she was really upset by that. But that is the way my brain is wired. I would just be like, cut you off, done. That's just the way my brain is wired. And then maybe in a few years I'd sit and be like, oh, that's really sad. But I wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't like, it would hurt me. Obviously, you're my best friend. I love you. But at the same time, that's how my brain is wired.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, even like in reality, like all like your whole family shit, like that's really like your very first fucking social group, right? Like they influence you, like your thought patterns, all that shit, like your behaviors, especially during like your younger years and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like if your family life was surrounded by abuse or like other trauma and shit like that, like this can cause you to struggle from like connections with others, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
attachment theory.
Mine was, how did it talk to her? Mine was my dad died when I was 2, so, and he was obviously the love of my mum's life. She was left with 3 children to bring up, and I remember my mum was just a mess for years, and I obviously didn't get it back then because I was a child, but actually now I completely understand. And you know, I would probably be the same if that happened to me, but as a child I was in this cocoon of grief. But not, I wasn't grieving. I didn't know my dad. I was 2, but my mum was grieving for so many years.
And that's all you knew.
And yeah, and that, I think, yeah, made me sort of detach from things, maybe.
It made your mum detach from you.
Yes, definitely.
Which made you quite easily be able to give up your best friend after a fucking week. As an adult.
Oh dear, I'm sorry, Sam. I really upset her when I said that, but I didn't mean it in a horrible way.
Yeah, well, it still hurts, and you're over it, obviously.
Chris agrees with me. I reckon. I reckon Chris
Don't put words in Chris's mouth.
I reckon Chris would detach straight away. Doom, done. Right. Okay. So yeah. So we're all speculating on his home life, but I suppose we don't know. So carry on.
We just know that something was up there.
Well, that's just like I'm just going off of like I got like probably 30, like I got like 30 messages like about like different shit with this guy, right? So I mean like it's kind of hard to base like which shit's true, and then you talk to other people. Like I had some family members, like other victims on here that messaged me about like this isn't right. Well, this is how it went. I was kind of like there with like the police at the end of all this shit, and it's just hard to pick through, right? I mean,
can I just say for both your listeners and my listeners, when we do cases like this, that there isn't that much information on, and you are going by what people are telling you, I want them to sit back and realize that actually we're piecing together, trying to fact find information, and sometimes it might be a little bit off, or it might be not quite how it happened. But I think people need to remember that when these cases aren't massive and you haven't got all this information to go on, you had to put these cases together, which deserve to be told just as much as a bigger case. You have to try your best to put the information you've got together in a timeline the way you think it would go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and sometimes you have to rely on like statistics, like 90% of abused kids suffer abuse themselves and things like that. You have to sort of look at those sort of things.
Would you agree with me, Chris?
Oh yeah, like I've been working on this fucking thing since Monday.
You really have.
And I just finished it yesterday, and like trying to piece together what everybody sent me, and then what the fucking timeline was, and then something else was like, oh hey, like, all right, it went from 2010 to 2013. I'm like, well, what the fuck happened in those 3 years, right?
Yeah. So and we'll get people that sort of say, well, I don't reckon that information was right because I seen this, that, and the other. And it's like one day I said about someone got airlifted to hospital and they actually didn't. It went by ambulance. And I tell you that I got so much grief for that. And I thought, you know what? I was working on this case for about 3 bloody weeks, and I got one little thing wrong, and you come down on me with a ton of bricks. But it is hard. Like I've looked at doing smaller cases with not that much information, and I really struggle.
Yeah. And also, I think when you've got people messaging you like Chris has, you've got 30 people's different points of views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sometimes is good.
Sometimes great, but sometimes it's just who's remembering right. Are any of them, you know, because I don't think people you do get your liars for sure, but people generally don't lie, but is what they remember the actual truth.
And how it happened. They could say, oh, Tuesday, that green car drove past me and it was definitely 6 o'clock because I finished work at 5:30, and it was actually like 9 o'clock, and they were putting the bins out. Do you know what I mean? Carry on, Chris.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, like where's I at here? Yeah, like even like
Bryony has that effect on people. Don't worry.
like even like fucking an unhealthy family, like that can cause a child to have like different moods, depression, anxiety, or other personality disorders too, like self-esteem issues, like that can roll up from this. Like this shit can give you like nightmares, intrusive memories. Now, these are memories that a person that like kind of makes them trigger that they know something bad is going to happen, and then it kind of serves as like maybe like a warning as like for future trauma and shit, like because it can kind of be like a signal that the situation's about to become really fucking out of hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you think then
So
for that sort of person, they would get in there first before the situation? They would be the one to enforce that because they know it's going to happen.
yeah, definitely. I mean, they would be on edge, or like they'd fucking like probably scan the room or whatever to make sure like, you know, they have a game plan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. That is me.
And it also, if you like psychologically, if you believe that everything is happy, your brain will look for things to confirm what you're thinking is true. So you do see more happiness in the world. If you think I'm fucking depressed and everyone's losers and I'm a loser and everything's awful, your brain will look for that, and then that's all it will see. So it proves it's true. You know, look at how awful everything is.
Of course it will. I've never ever ever said that I understand depression, because I don't get it, because I feel like I'm not that. I don't think I would ever be really depressed, because that's not how my mindset works. So I don't understand people that can't get out of bed. In my head, it sounds awful, but I'm like, just get up and get dressed. If you do that, you'll feel better.
Yeah. But that's very much going along what you said, like you get over things quite quickly, and that's just your
mindset.
Mindset, how you were raised.
So I'm quite lucky in that sense.
No, you fucked up, love.
Oh yeah, 100% fucked up. Chris has just realised how fucked up we are. And it's like, oh my god.
He's like, yeah, well, you two shut up so I can speak my case, please.
No, go on, keep going. Go on. We're going to give you 5 minutes of we're not going to talk once.
Nah, like even this can affect like other shit and trigger like OCD, like that can interfere with like your ability to function, your ability to thrive. And this can lead to the use of like alcohol and drugs. In most cases, this is used as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And that, folks, is exactly what this guy did over time. So at one point, it was like all the normal back home to be like offered like pills and shit, like, oh hey man, I got some fucking nerve pills or whatever, right? So eventually, like, you get really fucked up on nerve pills, and like there'd be stuff like Valium, Percocets, Ritalin was a big thing. Like that was a big thing when I was in high school. Dexedrine. So like Ritalin here, like, and the Dexedrine, that'll actually make you speed up, so it'll make you focus. And nerve pills or whatever, like
that is
they're kind of
sorry, that is given to people
like
that
ADHD
have got ADHD and things.
Like that,
yeah. So if you haven't got it, it has a different effect on you.
Is it just me, or is Ritalin and stuff like that, was it a lot more popular in, I guess, what would be considered our younger years, because all three of us are the sort of the same age? Was it more popular over there? Because I don't really remember it being over here.
No, can I just stop you? Right, so I've said they are like 5 years ahead of us in everything they do over there, right? So even I feel like Canada, America, everywhere. So here, when I was younger, I would have been diagnosed with ADHD. I would have been diagnosed with probably a few other little weird things, but I never got that, because here you were just a naughty kid.
Yeah.
You didn't know that if you had ADHD, you were bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
You weren't just throwing scissors. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So someone like in our school, like the other Toby, you know, the one that's now a crackhead, ADHD, you could see it all over him. Whereas someone like me, that would kick off but not as bad, I was just a little kid. Do you know? Were people diagnosed then in like your school time, Chris?
I didn't give a shit for my school time. I hated high school.
Do you remember though, was there many people in your school that had sort of like ADHD, autism?
Like, is that why the drugs were easier to get hold of?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was on Ritalin when I was fucking junior high school, most parts, yeah.
So would you be then set with that just because you wanted to, or were you diagnosed with ADHD?
ADD, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so we didn't have that. What I'm saying here is we didn't get diagnosed when we were younger. You would have to be quite severe for us to get diagnosed. Whereas now, so many children are getting diagnosed with things now because we're catching up with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Yeah, no, like there's a lot more shit out there now that
yes,
like, mental health is fucking a big thing too now. So like look at all the suicides, everything else that are fucking happening. Like I lost probably 6 friends last year to fucking suicide. So
yeah, suicide is big now, isn't
That's
it?
awful, isn't it?
But I think suicide, you've got to look at the way life is now. Like I tell you what, honestly, phones, social media. Could you imagine being in school and having social media? I know we had like MySpace and stuff, and Bebo, I think it was. But could you imagine having like Facebook and Snapchat and?
That'd be awful, wouldn't it?
that'd be fucking brutal.
I just don't understand. I hate it. Like it's so much for their brains.
Yeah.
And there's so much bullying and stuff that goes on in that.
Oh, tons. I was fucking I was bullied a lot in school. But I mean that's part of life. That was just part of life's over. Thank fuck.
We were quite lucky in our school, weren't we? But we didn't really have a lot of bullying.
No, fallouts, and you don't fall out with someone for a week. I guess it was a type of bullying, but it was over quick.
Yeah, we had like strange kids that no one really spoke to. But see, I was clever, and I used to speak to like the quiet ones that were quite clever. So I was friends with a lot of those, so they would help me with my work.
You mean manipulative, darling?
Yeah, they would do my work. But I still speak to them. I could still speak to them now. Do you know what I mean? But you remember like people like Gemma, Vanessa, like really odd, like really emo, really sort of like just wore black all the time, never washed her hair. Like people just wouldn't speak to her, but she was actually a really lovely girl.
I got on with her. She was lovely.
Yeah, but you wouldn't find other. Like, you know, I spoke to pretty much everyone. Do you know what I mean? But you wouldn't find like other popular girls going and speaking to her.
No.
You know?
So everyone was on Ritalin basically in your day, Chris, or in this guy's day?
Yeah, pretty much. Or like there'd be like nerve pills or whatever. You just get fucked up and drink and whatever.
Did you ever do the cocktail of the cough medicine?
No, I wasn't that far gone. Vodka was my thing, and weed.
We used to drink cider. And I was telling my nephew about it. My daughter asked for some vodka the other day and she wanted Smirnoff vodka. I was like, in your day, babe, I was drinking like White Lightning cider. Do you ever have White Lightning?
No.
Or Lambrini. Cider. It's cider over you. It's just juice, isn't it? It's like apple juice. Chris?
Yeah.
I said cider's apple juice, isn't it, where you are from?
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's hard liquor. Fucking cider or whatever, I guess.
That's what we would be drinking at 14 years old, getting absolutely paralytic
in a park.
Terrible.
Yeah, we were drinking fucking Golden Glow or fucking Great White Shark Piss.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that.
Big 40 of wine, that'll get you smashed.
No, 41. What was that? No, we had that. What was that called? Say it again.
No, he said 40 of wine.
Oh, 40 of wine. So we used to have, what was that one we used to have with the W on it? It was awful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know what you mean there.
Drinking was awful. Don't know why we did it.
Anyway, let him tell your story.
Yeah, no, let's see. Yeah, like I said, like a few people messaged me online about this shit. Like everybody does say the worst about this guy. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of folks that are like right to feel this way about this, right? Like, because he did end up like killing a couple people or whatever too. But he also did like some robberies and shit. Like a lot of these actions had like effects on people's lives and everything. Like some were either just fucking scared to death of this guy. Some hung out with him mainly because of a steady supply of drugs, or they get drunk or whatever, party. And I'm sure that some people just hung out with him just because like he was a pretty tough fucking dude or whatever, right? So like from the articles that I found online here, a friend of his here, they'd get high on coke and drink and whatever, and sometimes they'd be up for like 4 or 5 days at a time. Yeah. Now,
for your mental health, that is awful.
Oh, definitely. But I mean, like, they met when they were like younger or whatever, right? So they started a relationship, but like he did actually spend most of his time over in Glace Bay, so that's like another area back home. So it's like a community from of Cape Breton, sorry, and it's not far from Sydney, Nova Scotia or whatever. So even back in the 40s, like Glace Bay, it was recognized as like the largest populated town in Canada at one point. And like anywhere you go, like there's good and bad people, there's drug dealers, but I mean the town of Glace Bay, like they've all heard the name of like Tom. So like a lot of people were fucking scared shitless of this guy, right? Like
Yeah.
didn't want to fucking see him or whatever, or like if they seen him, they'd fucking like go the other way, depending shit like that, right? And like there were some back then that were just fucking genuinely scared. Like I'm sure there are still people today that are fucking, scared of him, right? But I mean, just because he's in jail and all this shit
Is
doesn't
he in prison now?
I believe so. Yeah, he's in prison now.
Okay.
He's up for parole at some point there, definitely.
What, in
But
the
I
near
mean, like,
future? In the near future?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, like even like some of the family members here, like some of them were just total opposite of this guy. Like some were just like good as gold, and then like they'd be really friendly, and then there was him. He just fucking little bit of craziness, right? But like a friend of mine had worked with his sister, and she mentioned that the two were just total fucking opposite, right?
You find that
And
though. Have you got siblings?
no,
See, I'm completely opposite to my brother and my sister. My
Snap.
brother and my sister are quite similar, but I'm opposite.
Yeah, me
And
too.
and Sam and her sister are complete opposite.
Yeah.
yeah, like there's some here that mention like he didn't really talk a whole lot, like kind of kept to himself. But I mean, others recall him as just talking up a storm. I mean, I guess that depends on, your party and your drinking, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the odd time, like you wouldn't see him for like a long period of time, and then he like look really healthy and shit, have a bit of weight onto him, and that reason was mainly because he was in jail, right? Then he'd be fucking a few months later, you'd see him and he'd just be like skinny or whatever, right? Like, or
I
you'd
don't
know he was
think,
using drugs and shit.
yeah, and I don't think people that do use drugs on a regular basis, I don't think they really realise their appearance.
No.
Well, they just don't care, do they?
Maybe they don't care, but I imagine, like, definitely for a girl, you'd sort of look in the mirror, but would you recognise how unhealthy you really looked?
No, probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so, neither. I honestly don't.
Be more fixated on like your drug use or like whatever, like knowing you have a problem and then trying to get off or doing whatever, or just not giving a fuck.
And
one of the two, anyway.
Obviously, for him, obviously it was prison, get out, go back to drugs, go back to selling drugs, because that's what all you know. And it makes you more money. I mean, you think why people do sell drugs, and you realise why they do, because it's an easier life. Not an easier life because obviously the crime, but it's an easier life to make money.
It's fun for sure, isn't it?
And
also, like Chris said, there's a reason they're using as well. It's not just, oh, this drug makes me go a bit loopy, it's really good. It's an escape thing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like there's definitely like a lot of folk here that mention like some say he was just a fucking psychopath, right? Like man who had like no empathy, zero remorse, or like zero regard for like human life, right? Like he was seen as a man who felt the need to control others. So I mean that right there would be like controlling behavior, mind you. And there's several things that fucking drive this. Like most common are like anxiety disorders, personality disorders, and the people with anxiety disorders, like they feel the need to control everything around them in order to feel at peace. Now, they might not trust anyone else to handle things the way that they will. Controlling behaviors can be symptoms of like several kind of personality disorders too, like maybe a borderline personality or like narcissistic personality. It's just one of those things that can cross into the line eventually of abusive behavior too.
Can I just say, I don't know if you would agree with me, but people like this somehow manage to attract people that are easy to control or that want to be controlled. Like some people like that, like some women prefer to have that guy that sort of tells you what to do.
They don't just attract it, bro. They seek them out.
Do you reckon they seek them out?
I
or
know
do you reckon
they do.
attract
Yeah,
it?
I've done a lot of work into this. They do. especially like with what Chris said with like your personality disorders, your narcissistic disorders and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they
agree.
seek the
I would agree with you. If I was sat in a room with him, he probably wouldn't like me.
No,
because he would realise he wouldn't be able to control me. If he said something that if I disagreed with it, I would make sure they knew that.
Yeah. You'd be like, mate, I can't even control me, so you got no chance.
So yeah, you're right. Maybe they do seek them out, actually.
Definitely.
Which is sad, really, because then you've got another group of vulnerable people that are being controlled and manipulated because they have some sort of problem. Does that make sense? So they would have what would you say, maybe?
The thing with like narcissistic personality disorder and BPD, the borderline personalities, one of the biggest things they're actually afraid of is being alone, but they push people away.
I can see that, yeah.
But they're shit scared of being on their own.
I suppose they push people away to control them.
Yeah,
in a way.
If they control them, they keep them there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. It serves a lot of other purposes as well. But the main thing, if I control you, you ain't fucking going nowhere.
Yeah, true. Very true.
But the behaviour, if it's done to a normal person, well, right, even if they are controllable, eventually it wears thin. And 9 out of 10 times they will leave eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually.
Yeah. Not always, or they get killed first, which is a lot of what you see in the cases we do, especially.
Yeah, which is sad.
Very. There you go. That's a bit of science.
Yeah, well done.
Nice science for today.
Well done. I would argue it, but as Chris is on the line, I won't.
Yeah, no, like there's even a couple folk there that like I remember them messaging me, like they told me that like during his stay in like the correctional centers and shit like that they worked at or whatever, like some say that he was just pure fucking cold, like that was just the personality that seemed to surround him. Some mentioned that like even the Canadian justice system didn't fucking give this guy enough time or whatever, right? Like he was just always in and out of fucking jail.
I know,
like, honestly,
and I do think as well though, I mean, I imagine, did he go in when he was first in jail, was he quite young?
Yeah, be in and out for like fucking like robbery shit, probably drugs, like violent behavior, depending, maybe assault or some shit.
I wonder, because he was in and out, but it was probably shorter sentences. I often think that they don't get looked into, as in they don't get the help that they need.
No,
that's right.
You know, they just they're there for a few months. Let's just let them do their sentence and get them out.
Yeah.
Maybe you're from a counsellor, but the counsellor's busy, so in 6 months' time, but they'll be out already.
Yeah, definitely. Like even like mental health, like trying to get a fucking like therapist or whatever that you need to talk to, it takes fucking months.
Yeah,
like...
and can you imagine trying to give someone like that a tablet to take that would probably make their personality disorder sort of not better, and as soon as they get out of prison, they ain't going to take that.
No,
they don't, because they don't see that they've got that.
Yeah, like there was like even like a lot of fucking people here too, like that were in Glace Bay, like that knew where he lived, that actually fucking wanted to stay away from his plates and stuff, right? Like the guy was a parent fucking dude.
Yeah.
And I think even back when, like nobody wanted anything to do with this guy, really. I mean, maybe the ones that he sold drugs to, or like, you know, that were doing drugs.
You'll always have a group of people around you if you're in that environment, because you do have people that either want to be like you, they want to be like an alpha, they want to sell the drugs.
Well, like Chris said, they want his drugs. That's the thing, the free drugs.
Yeah, and you'll find as well, he'll probably, I imagine people were a lot younger than him. They would always be with people younger than them because they're the sort of people that are going to look up to him.
Right, you know, right. So they kind of like idolize or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I've grown up like that. I've seen it. It's always younger guys that are trying to be the next bigger drug dealer. That's gonna, you know, they're, you know, that's why everyone's got these little runners, because they'll do what they say because they're younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, even that, like the younger kids probably try to build up a reputation around him too, right?
100%.
Like,
yeah.
Like, there's a few things here, like I said, like he was known to pretty much anybody in the community, right? Like the guy would like do like robberies and shit here and there, like in younger years and stuff. Like he'd knock over like convenience stores, rob them shit here and there. But like,
just ask what your gun law is over there.
I have not looked into gun laws.
But you don't have gun laws like America.
No, definitely not.
Okay, no. I didn't know. See, I always think Canada and America sort of similar, very similar.
Well, no.
Yeah, I literally stopped watching the news because it's fucking crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Because I was just doing some research weirdly on obviously carrying guns in America, like your right to carry a gun and stuff. Because everyone just thinks someone's on my property, I've got the right to shoot them. It doesn't actually work like that.
No.
Yeah, no.
You know,
Like,
you've got to have your gun license, and you've got to have that gun registered, and there's so much more that goes into it than just that you can shoot them if they're on your property.
yeah. Oh, there's like, I know like self-defense laws, everything changed here, shit like that. But I mean, I haven't paid attention to fucking like anything with the news or anything because it's so fucking like political, fucking whatever. Right?
Yeah, I've stopped watching the news just because it's sad. It makes me so sad. There's so many stabbings going on around where we are, like not just where we are, but you know, London and you know, Manchester, and it's just sad.
And like,
No, I get
from
it.
a political point of view, the news outlets do feed you what they want you to hear, and not every side of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at that guy and that girl. I can't remember their bloody names now. They killed that trans girl here, and how much has that been in the news?
Yeah, nothing.
Hardly any of it. And I was telling someone about it, and they didn't know anything about it. And I was like, they like butchered her in a field, stabbed her, and it's like 70 something times, and no one knows about it.
Crazy.
That's fucking terrible.
And this is all because she was a trans girl. They wanted to kill somebody, and they were talking about killing somebody for weeks and weeks and weeks. And they tried to get a guy, and he wouldn't come out and meet them. So then they turned to this other girl. And it's so sad. She was on the bus, and she texted her mum, and she was like, "I'm on the bus on my own." And her mum was like really proud that she'd done that. And then they end up killing her.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah,
and the guy that she got to do it with her, it is like severely autistic. And it's been diagnosed as severely autistic now. And you could tell just by the way he was messaging her that he was autistic straight away. And she was just a psycho born through and through. Nurture. I don't think it was nurture like nature. I think it wasn't nurture. I think it was her nature. I think she was always going to be a psychopath. And she convinced him that they should kill somebody. And without her, I don't think he would have ever done that. And now he's killed a girl because the girl that he was friends with, his only friend, made it sound like he should do it. It's just sad when you look at it like that.
Definitely.
I'll send you over the details on it so you can have a read, and you'll be so shocked at how it happened.
Oh yeah, no, I'll definitely check that out for sure.
But yeah, carry on. So anyway, so people were scared of him.
Oh yeah, like, and that like just continued on. Like, there was a girl here that messaged me there. She mentioned that there was like a robbery back in like the 1990s. So a store was robbed, and there was I believe she was a store clerk. I'm not 100%, but I know this was like a girl's sister or whatever. So she was actually shot during like the robbery, and then they left. They ended up ditching the gun up around Lingan Road area. So this was at like a school bus stop there.
What, they just put the gun at a school bus stop?
Yeah, they threw the gun at like a bus stop or whatever there, I guess.
Crazy.
And like all this stemmed off to like all this later shit in his life too. Like cops knew about him. He was just at some points like bad fucking news, I guess, right?
Quite well renowned.
Like they had the two robberies there. Like this was back in I want to say 2012 here, but like there were stuff that involved like a Sydney bank, and there was like also a jewelry store, and there was another guy that was involved in this here too. I'm not gonna fucking say his name, but he was just a resident of Glace Bay. To which now, like I believe at that time or whatever, he was serving a sentence after pleading guilty to the charges from the robberies. So that was actually from like a 2015 article that I found there.
Oh really?
So this guy here, like the other guy that was with him or whatever, like he testified that during the preliminary trial, like that he alone had planned and executed the robbery with no assistance from Barrett. And he also had given 3 statements to police concerning the crime. So in 2 of those statements, he had implicated Barrett. And then during his testimony at the preliminary, he said that his previous statements were lies and that he was the only one responsible for the crime.
I bet he did. I bet he shit himself. I bet after he'd said all that, I bet he had a marker on his head.
Yeah, like he just said Barrett was never there, and then he never told me to do anything. And then when questioned by the fucking Crown Attorney or whatever. Her name was Catherine Pence. Now, she asked where he got the gun at for the crime, and he replied with, "Your mother." So,
my
as a
God.
result,
Jesus.
as a result of this, the testimony that the Crown was actually forced to withdraw the charges against Barrett there. So,
I bet
like,
that. I bet. Can you imagine being that? This guy that said that that Tom wasn't there, was he a lot younger?
I think so.
Yeah, you can just imagine it, can't you?
So what's your reasoning? Do you think he done that? Like, are there any stories if there was pressure on him to do so, or was he just afraid? Is there any, like, has anybody said anything, or it's just sort of left to your imagination?
I bet you any money he knew that Tom would have killed him.
But I was
I'm pretty sure like fear would have been like fear, nervousness, whatever would have been a factor in that, I guess, right?
I just wonder if like anyone has said to you, "Oh, we know that he was, either paid off or threatened," or
I know from experience that people that I know that basically someone went to prison for selling drugs that I know, and they thought these guys that went down with him for quite a long time, it's quite a big drug bust in a club, and it was rumored that he'd given their names. And he went into prison. The first day he was in prison, he literally, I think it was about 60 guys, kicked the shit out of him, and he had to get his statements to prove that he didn't say their names. I don't know how he must have got his statements. I suppose you can ask for them, but he had to prove it because they all wanted to kill him.
So is there anything like that, Chris, that you know of, or is it just sort of you just assume that that's sort of what he was doing?
Pretty much just assume, I guess, because I mean everybody was pretty much just fucking scared of this guy anyway, right?
It's a safe assumption, isn't it?
Why would you say his name twice and then all of a sudden withdraw it?
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Something would have happened to go on around there.
And also,
whatever, right?
I mean, he's just committed armed robbery. The chances of him killing you are quite high.
Well, depends.
Do you know what I mean?
But
If you were that guy and you'd given his name and you're thinking about it, and someone said to you, "Mate, he's going to kill you. You're fucked."
Yeah, you're gonna fucking recant.
Yeah, because you don't grasp. That's the thing. If you're in that sort of crime world, you don't grasp.
And I wouldn't want to piss off a psychopath anyway, because you just don't fucking know what they will do.
Exactly.
No, and you never know. Like even like that was just like the robbery stuff that I wanted to mention too. Like I don't know, I just try to tie all that in there, like shit that
Did you
I was told. Like
shot then?
Yeah, somebody mentioned that it was one of her sisters that was on shift and she got shot or some shit there. But I tried to reach out, but never got anything back. So just had to work on that on my own. So not a big deal.
And so the girl that we assumed got shot, she survived though.
Believe so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because then if that would have happened, then you obviously would have been up on like fucking robbery and murder charges and all that other shit.
If he's not there, if you said he's there and he's not there, what can they do if they've got no evidence? But I wonder, like, surely they must have had CCTV.
I mean, fuck. Even back then, like, it's kind of hard with like fucking cameras and all that shit too. Like, even like that Big Ben's murder that I covered before, like, that didn't have any fucking cameras in there. Like, that girl got fucking stabbed to death from fucking like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
For our listeners, please definitely go and listen to Chris's podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Big Ben one that I posted on our group. I think.
I don't know. I'm going to admit it that I fall asleep to you. Because your voice is so soothing. I can fall asleep listening to you, and there's not many podcasts you can do that with.
It's got very cool soothing voice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, like, even with the shit that this guy did, like the selling drugs, bullshit like that, like I want to go back here to fucking 2006. So this is like his violent side, and that come out pretty good around then, like more so. So there was a woman named Brett Elizabeth McKinnon. Now, she went missing that year, 2006, and she was described as 5'4", about 120 pounds, long blonde hair, hazel eyes. She had a pierced tongue, and there was a quarter-shaped birthmark on her right wrist. So I mean, it was easy identifiable or whatever, right?
Unless you cut.
So this was around the time that she and her boyfriend had recently broken up. So Brett, she contacted the family shortly after the breakup there. So like fucking just want to let the family know like they broke up and shit. So the boyfriend actually called the family so she could come back, or they could come back and get some stuff from the place.
Right.
So this was around the end of May when they broke up. So it's just like after that, she just sort of fucking dropped off the face of the earth. Now, she had last spoken to her mom on June 8th. Now, after getting her daughter's belongings, the family, they went to police because there was a couple things that she left there. Like all of her clothes were left behind. There was her bank card, and her bank account records had shown like she hadn't used her account since like the first week of June. So her mom said that she'd never go more than a few days without calling her. So something was up, right?
Chris, sorry, can I just stop you there? So this girl, her boyfriend, it wasn't Tom.
No.
It was someone called Brett.
Brett is the woman that went missing.
Sorry. Okay, but Tom wasn't her boyfriend. This was a different guy.
This was a different guy, yeah.
So then did she have connections to Tom, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's okay. Carry on.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, no, so she was officially reported missing in July 13th, 2006. But nothing really ended up going on with the case until 2008, because there were two hunters that had been out setting traps for like some rabbits, like setting up like snares and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like rabbit traps. So this was at the old 11 dump site. So this would have been about 1 kilometer off Brookside Street in Passchendaele area of Glaze Bay.
Oh, you're good. See, that's not me. I'm like, it's just up the road.
Yeah.
No, so they found remains of a body, and then the cops were called, and the remains were gathered up, and they were sent away for DNA testing. Now, when the results came back, they were identified as the missing girl, Brett Elizabeth McKinnon. So police had set out to try and find out what happened, and like they didn't have fucking much to go on. Now, November 20th, 2010, about 2 years later here, there was a cash reward that was offered up under Nova Scotia Rewards for Major Unsolved Crime program.
Right.
So this would like give people money for any information that was leading to an arrest and conviction of those responsible for her death.
And let me just point out to all you people that are in crime and stuff that actually once the reward is offered, people start coming out the woodworks.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, like with information or whatever, I guess, and fucking like, oh hey, well I heard this from fucking Jimmy down the road or
it's
whatever.
Not that they're sat there feeling sorry for this poor girl that's got murdered. They're like, oh, there's a 20 grand reward, and I heard that blah 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 did it.
If the price is high enough, somebody will speak.
Yeah, there was it was 150,000.
Fucking hell, yeah, I would have talked for that.
And like the lead investigator on this case too, that was on Brett's case, like he tried to get some help with this case too. So he worked with Missing Children's Society because they had offered up like a little bit of resources to help assist with this too. Yeah. And I think they offered up like 10 grand of their own money too. So Brett was born on December 27th, 1985. So she was the daughter of Lynn Singleton and Frances McKinnon. Now, Brett, after all this, she was found, whatever. She was cremated. There was a viewing there that was held for her in her memory. So this would have been January 10th, 2009. This was at Patterns Funeral Home on Union Street, Glace Bay, Nova Scotia. Now, the investigation had continued on for a while, and police not really getting any fucking further with things. So one of the hunters that had found the remains there, his name was Eric McBee. So he said that when he found the remains with his niece, this was in like a wooded area of Glace Bay. So several bones were found. There was including like a spine and a skull, and there appeared to be like an old Sobeys bag on the back of the skull. Sobeys bags. Sorry, it's a grocery store bag.
Oh,
We call them Sobeys bags because there's a grocery store called Sobeys.
So do you think that was like over her face and it sort of like disintegrated, or do you think it was just
probably disintegrated? I mean, or maybe it was just laid on top of a grocery bag or something.
Right,
but
okay.
that was also like the bag was entered in evidence, but like I said, like it appeared to be underneath the skull, so the bag was like it kind of had like a knot in it, so it was sent like for DNA testing, but there was no DNA evidence found in the bag.
The thing is as well, once it's been out in elements for so long, you lose so much DNA, don't you?
Well, I mean, you got your rain, your fucking your snow, your heat, whatever. I mean, that.
And this was a skeleton at the time, so it had been out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was there was a couple things here. Like Brett's mom, like she mentioned that like she never really contacted her for a bit, so she knew something was up like before she disappeared or whatever. Like um a little bit before like all this, like Brett had actually suffered a miscarriage there. They were at the hospital together with her mom. So she was about fucking what, 21 when she was killed, so she was very young, right?
Yeah.
And like she had her whole life ahead of her, guaranteed, like just to do awesome fucking things. And then
Can you
her life was
imagine her poor mum as well? Because nothing moved on that case for so long.
Yeah.
And you sat there hoping that they're still alive because that's all you've got to hope for.
Yeah.
And then you find her body just dumped. Like, how sad for a parent is that? Like, you know, you get these people that just don't care. Like, I get it, you've killed someone, we're not going to go and say, oh yeah, I'll bury them, but they just don't understand the effects that this has on her, you know, her mum, her auntie, her dad, her brother, her
don't understand. I
sibling.
just point blank don't fucking care. That's
Like,
the thing.
it's so sad to think this poor mum.
Yeah, no, it's fucking crazy. Like I don't know, police were like, they had to figure out like how to fucking solve this too, right? Like figure out who was behind all this. So I'm gonna fast forward a bit here now. This will be around May 2nd, 2012. So I'm gonna add in another girl here. Her name was Laura Catherine Jessam. So like the whole Breck case kind of went. They were still looking at like who was involved and all this shit, so they didn't really have much to go off of, right?
I suppose it just slowed down. They were just sort of waiting for information to come to them. They didn't put it as a cold case, but they weren't actively seeking
doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Laura Catherine Jessam here now, very awesome, very smart woman, right? Now, when she was a child here, like her family, well, I talked to like relative or whatever. So she told me, like, she gave me a little bit here to talk about. Her mom had given her like a cute little nickname when she was a little baby. Her name was well, the nickname was Angel Bread, and yeah, like she was just a girl who was very close to her family. She had two sisters and whatever, and yeah, like both were a little older than Laura, but Laura was very loved. Like she had a very caring family, but sometimes, I mean, you get mixed up with the wrong people in life, right? And this happens at one point or another. And besides meeting fucking Tom, I mean, we'll go back to him here. So let's see. In 2010, Laura had an encounter with Tom. So, or shit, no, it wasn't Tom. Sorry. Let me go back here for 1 sec here. I fucked up there.
Carry on. It's okay. We sidetrack you all the time, so we'll forgive you.
Yeah. No, like she got mixed up with the wrong people, whatever. And back in 2010, there was an altercation that she had with another guy that wasn't Tom or whatever. She was actually assaulted by this guy here, so she had to get a restraining order put on him. But unfortunately, this didn't stop that guy. So a little later on, the guy was found guilty.
Never does.
Yeah, like he actually assaulted Laura's dad at that time too. He made threats towards him and her sister. This was in November of 2010. So a month after this happened.
Tom, I imagine.
What's that?
The guy she got a restraining order against, was he friends with Tom?
No, I don't think he was just some random asshole.
Really? I was surprised. I thought they'd be friends.
Yeah.
Not all dickheads know each other.
No.
Nah, like this was like a month after this happened, like this asshole actually forcibly like confined Laura, and then he was later found guilty of violating a court order to stay away from her. So plus this fella had like repeatedly called Laura, so they had phone records and shit, and he was just talking shit to the family. So April 13th, this fuckhead was finally sentenced to like some jail time, so we ended up getting like 5 months and 17 days for all this shit that he caused the Jessam family.
Let's just praise that I actually went to jail, because that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, huh?
Yeah. You're allowed to harass people and nothing's done of it.
Yeah.
Sucks. Yeah, but like this case here, like I did reach out a little bit. I got to talking to like a relative. Nothing major, just kind of back and forth bullshit, right? And I asked her if there was anything that she wanted me to add into this, and that's why I brought up like her mom calling her like Angel Bread and shit like that. So.
Oh, it's lovely to know that, because it makes the victims a real person to people.
It's real, yeah.
Like, that's always why I bring up the parents and think how they feel, because you listen to a podcast and they're telling you about this person, but
so far removed from you, isn't it?
And often people don't bring, they'll say the mum was searching for it, whatever, but they don't bring up how they think that they would be feeling. I mean, could you just imagine somebody in your family going missing and you having no clue if they were alive or dead? Like, how much that would just destroy you.
Yeah.
If you were close or not close. I just think as a parent, you've always got that love, or not most parents do.
Yeah, on the whole.
So let's go back here. Where was I at? Yeah, 2012. So we'll go back to this timeline here. So May 2nd, Laura Jessom had gotten a hold of Tom. So she wanted to go to his Glace Bay place, have some drinks, do some drugs. And it wasn't really a party per se. Like, the place was just a well-known drug house or whatever, or apartment or whatever. So lots of people were always in and out of there, and I'm pretty sure there were a few others that stuck around or whatever. They'd do their shit, they'd leave, whatever, they'd dip.
I wonder, like I said about the music, we used to always go to raves, and then there'd always be a house we'd go back to, normally the same house with the same sort of people that would just be trashed and disgusting, but you'd sit in there all night, after, all the next day sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, we've all been there.
Yeah, Sam hasn't, but we have.
I wasn't doing the drugs. I was still there.
I like to put in that she's a little angel.
I am a little angel.
So this would have been the New Aberdeen area of Glace Bay. So the night started like fucking any other, I guess, booze, drugs, all that fun shit. Just some folks letting loose. And Laura Jessom and Tom Barrett, they kind of started arguing about some shit here. There's a couple other people that were there that night, but I'm not gonna fucking say who they were or whatever, just in case they're trying to move on, whatever, or don't want to be involved. So I mean, it's not my fucking name to.
No.
Well, it's not my portion to fucking say different shit on here, but I mean, if you look it all up, everything's online too. I mean, that's this is where you found most of your shit too, right?
Can I just say though, sometimes in this situation, if they had a disagreement and maybe it got a bit out of hand, some people that were there maybe could have helped.
Definitely could have helped stop or
whatever. Also, this is a drug house. Are they other cases?
100%. I do agree with you, but some people don't want to get involved because maybe of his reputation.
That as well. Million reasons not to.
Yeah,
probably not very many.
Which is really sad.
Yeah, I'm not sure if these guys that popped in whatever they were the whole night, or if they would just pop in the place, stay there, do their shit, have a couple beers and then leave or whatever, or if they just stayed or visited for a bit, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even sometimes back home, people are drinking somewhere, so you show up, if you find a place to drink, sometimes you just stop in if something's going on, right?
Oh yeah, just to stop in to say hi, maybe get the drugs you want, maybe just have a quick drink and off you go.
Yeah, so everybody was at Tom's, partying, getting drunk, high on coke, and the argument there that started with Laura and Tom. So this was about there's a couple things I got here. So this was about money for coke or something along those lines. So no pun intended there. But anyway, the argument got a bit heated. So I just want to say here, there was a couple different versions that I got about people from this. So there's one here from somebody that knew one of the guys at the party. He was a cousin. So this one here, pretty much the same, the same layout for the whole fucking thing, right? The whole end game of it. So the guy who was with Tom here, he was always afraid of him. So he was just fucking unpredictable. Now, when he was doing drugs, he'd fucking have a violent way about him. So Tommy Boy was all just messed up on coke. And we'll go back to the little argument portion here. So like I said, got heated, and this one here seems like it's pretty bang on. So this portion here is from a cousin of the guy. So Laura didn't want to pay for the coke. Tom thought of another way that she could pay him. So he made advances towards her, fucking sexually, and she denied him. And then she ended up calling him.
I wouldn't have probably not met a girl that has been in that situation where a guy thinks that you owe them something with anything, just because you're at their house and you've been flirting with them a bit, well, that gives them the, I pretty much most girls could say they've probably been in that situation.
Yeah, you expected to,
which is really sad if you think about it.
Sky's the limit.
And then you factor in his actual behavior, as in, he's doing drugs, he's drinking, he's unpredictable anyway. Like, he probably, in his head, not probably, he believes that she owes him that, and that is what she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting out of it. That's what's happening.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so like he ended up making advances towards her. She denied him, and then she called him like a bunch of shit, and she fucked off out of there. So she stormed off. So Tom was pissed, but he seemed to calm down a little bit, and he told the other guy, "Hey, go get her. I just want to smooth things out, right? Smooth things over." Yeah. So the other guy went to go get her, brought her back, and then she ended up coming back, and Tom ended up fucking strangling her, and he fucking killed her.
Guy as well.
I believe so, yeah.
He's a psycho. He didn't care.
Why would you not fucking stop him though?
Because
I know you shouldn't victim blame, because he is just as much of a victim as not as the girl is, but he is a victim for being in that situation. But like, I could not stand there and watch that happen.
But it's a different situation though, bro.
See, there was there was another take on this here too. There was the little thing here that said he had given her like the choice to do the last line of coke and see what happens, and then she did it, and he fucking strangled her because she wasn't supposed to fucking do it or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's like maybe a test, as in like, let's see if she'll take my coke again.
Yeah.
Without paying.
Yeah, and like there was another portion here I got from a relative of Laura's. So this was mentioned that it was only Tom and the other guy at the house. So the other guy left the house to go get her, bring her back or whatever, right? Because the other guy was just scared shitless of Tom. He'd do whatever he fucking said, right? So Tom strangled her after the argument, and then a short while after that, after he killed her or whatever, he fucking stuffed her into a hockey bag, and then they drove out to Marion Bridge. So this is like
Can I say, personal experience, this sounds awful now because I've never actually killed anybody, but rigor mortis sets in so quickly when someone's died that they must have had that plan. He must have sort of thought of that straight away.
Yeah.
Well, I know he had the hockey bag. I'm going to get into that here. There's a lot of shit here too. The hockey bag, everything. So she was put into the hockey bag. She was a very tiny girl, right? So she just fucking fit right in there. Mm-hmm. Now, Marion Bridge here, that's a rural community. So that's named after the bridge that crosses the Mire River, obviously. So, like, these boys had, like, a way to fucking do things, right? So they put her in the bag, they threw her in the water, and they were good to go. So May 25th, 2012.
Never do that. Never ever do that, guys. Don't throw them in the water.
Yeah, like
unless it's the sea and you're on a boat and you're really far out. But then we've had people do that as well, and they've come back in. So maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah, like it just floated in the fucking, in the water or whatever, right? And yeah, so this was found by a woman. This was May 25th, 2012. So she reported the discovery to police. And not long after, police were actually sent out, and divers were called in. So they made like a grid search of the area where Laura was found. Now, police began searching other areas too, asking around about Laura, just trying to gather up more evidence to go off of, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a cash reward that was offered up by the Major Unsolved Crimes Program. This was also for $150,000 for any information leading to an arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Jessup's death.
Do you reckon the police had an inkling of who it was, though?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's a lot of fucking rumors back home, and people just go on about shit too.
And also, as well, he would have boasted about that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, there's a couple times, like, he opened up to people about this too, right?
Yeah.
And I'll get into that too. Like, a lot of rumors had circulated that her body had been cut up and then put into the hockey bag. That's what a lot of people were fucking saying online and shit. I'm like, so I had to have that clarified with a relative of Jessam. So her body was very much intact.
Right.
Like I said, she was just a very tiny girl, right?
I don't think he would have even bothered to go to that much effort to do that, because that would have involved him actually having to do something.
Yes, exactly.
So
and
actually, he just assumed that he could dump her in that river and probably she would never be found because he's that arrogant and that much of a dick.
Or if she was found, there'd just be no evidence, it'd be washed away.
Yeah. And also this guy that was with him is now just as much of a part of it as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, be like an accessory or whatever too.
Yeah.
Or like the vehicle that they used to fucking go there too. So
yeah. And let's face it, you've got two people that know what happened. That's two people that are going to open their mouths, and he is that arrogant that he would probably say something, get pissed, get wrecked, and be like, "I'll fucking kill you like I killed Laura." Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just totally those houses, how much they boast, and they just think that they wouldn't get caught because.
And psychopaths do think they're cleverer than everyone else. Sometimes they are, but
I don't reckon he was though.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of comments from people like he was smart in other ways and everything too, right? But I mean, you don't get into this shit without being a little bit smart. You know what I mean?
True,
I mean,
but true. But who would dump a body in a river realistically? Knowing what we know now, maybe in their 80s, maybe, but knowing how much DNA testing has moved on. Would you?
Well, I mean, you get DNA evidence from the bag. I mean, depending on what's inside the bag, how long you've been in the fucking water for.
But would you have not?
That could also wash away evidence too.
Yeah, very true. But would you have not dumped it in the similar place that you dumped the other girl that wasn't found for a longer period of time?
Well, I mean, the shit's already happened there. They don't know if that area is being watched or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. I do get it, but
I get a feeling like guys like this also, he just thinks he's so superior. It wouldn't happen to him, or if he did, somebody would take the fall for him.
Yeah,
he could explain it away. Yeah, he's got this other guy that he's be like, fucking him. You know?
Yeah.
He just comes across like he could be that type of dude.
True.
Yeah, it just totally fucking sucks what happened here. Like, and her body just to be disposed of in such a way, like, that they didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, they just threw her away like she was nothing. Like, she didn't deserve any of that, right?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I would imagine that he probably thought as soon as he saw her that she was gonna have sex with him, and he was probably giving her drugs thinking this will work, and then that didn't work. And then, like you say, she come back and she did that line of coke that was a test in his head as to see if she, I would say, like, if she had the balls to do it, knowing that he's just demanded money off her. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's see if she'll do this line of coke, and if she does, that's it. Like, he's already thought about that in his head.
Oh, definitely. And like,
there's been a plan in his head.
Well, I mean, like, it just sucks that this all happened too. Like, I don't know. Everybody hangs around with different people, shit like that. Like, maybe she didn't hang around with fucking drug dealers and shit. Maybe it could have been different, but I mean, what do you do? I mean,
she was definitely in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes like you pick and choose your friends too. I mean, like you hang around with people. It's
But she didn't know him per se, did she? Though was this the first time she'd met him, or second time she'd met him?
No. They knew of each other. He was at like her apartment and shit there a few times.
Quite a reputation, isn't he?
Sorry,
so
I thought
she'd know. Either.
I get it. I do get it. But like, see, I would be that girl that would take that coke and then say, "No, I'm not paying for it," or "No, I'm not having sex with you." So I could see myself in that situation.
But knowing what a bloke he is, like there is, and not that I'm victim blaming again, but you got to be careful who you hang around with. You really do.
You never, even if they're a bit of crazy, you never think that somebody is going to kill you.
Yeah, no, I get that. But when people openly show you who they are, and he did show everyone who he was, like, believe them because they're probably true.
Worse,
worse
than what
probably
they're
worse.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah. So after all this, the discovery, everything, so a service was held for Laura there. This was at J.M. Job's funeral home. This was May 30th, 2012. and then she was buried in St. Joseph's Cemetery. And police, they didn't believe that her death was a random act. So, yeah, it just sucked for the whole family because, like, Laura was the youngest daughter of Charles John there and Edna Jessam. She graduated from Memorial High School. She had a dog named Riley. And, she was doing okay with her life, minus the whole, like,
few older sisters, didn't you?
What's that?
You said she had 2 older sisters?
Yep.
Yeah, so she was the baby. So, they would have...
She was the youngest, Or younger, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she enjoyed her time with her family and everything, like, and it's just a fucking terrible thing that happened. Like, her mother even talked in interviews about, like, her saying, like, I just want to know whoever did this, like, I just want them caught. Like, my little girl's gone now, and I can't get her back. So she made comments on, like, how Laura loved to look up at the stars. Like, she knew what each one was. Like, she was very fucking smart, right? Very precious, whatever. And even though she battled, like, a drug addiction for several years, like, that's not how her family's going to remember her, right? They're going to remember all the good times that they had with her, right?
And also as well, if you've got a family member that is, especially like as a mum or someone that is battling a drug addiction, even though you see that drug addiction, you hold on to who they were before, or the little bits they show you when they are trying to get sober.
That's what Chris just sort of said. So it's like they're not their addiction.
No, and again, yes, she might have hung around with an actual psychopath, but nobody deserves to be killed.
No.
Nobody deserves that. If it's gun violence, if it's knife crime,
whatever. Nobody deserves to be murdered.
No, and she probably realistically in that situation didn't do anything to deserve that apart from take his drugs, which he then was making her pay for them in a way he wanted to. He knew she probably didn't have money, so he knew he could then have sex with her.
It's fucked up,
which is really sad.
That poor family.
It's brutal. Yeah, like his name had come up like a bunch. Like, police had searched the areas of Glace Bay, a few other areas, and even the folks at Glace Bay, like, they expressed their concern. Like, police had 2 fucking high-profile cases to solve now. There was Brett McKinnon and Laura Jessam's. Now, Barrett was suspected of this, but, like, there wasn't anything solid yet. But people eventually started talking to police, like former people here that Barrett had hung out with, and, one point here or one point there, right? Now, there was a woman named Cheryl Flynn, and I actually knew Cheryl. Like, we drank together a couple times or whatever. Like, I'd seen her around and shit. So, like, parties and shit like that, have a couple drinks, shoot the shit, right? So during the course of all this, she had some charges against her for, like, some theft charges, minor shit like that, a couple, like, local stores or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And, just something that ended up coming up. So she had an interview with police. Now, this was about a conversation that was between herself and Barrett back in 2006.
Hold on, Chris. If you can hear us, you've gone off a minute.
Oh, yeah, no. Hey,
you're back. Yeah. You're back. Go on. Yeah.
Sorry. So what last part did you hear there? My shit shut off.
So she was being interviewed by the police. She had charges. And then conversations she had with Tom.
Yeah. This was about a conversation that she had back in 2006 with Tom.
Yeah.
So she agreed to be taped in an interview, and this was about the encounter or whatever that she had with Tom in her vehicle. They were actually going to a coffee shop in Glace Bay, so I'm assuming Tim Hortons or whatever. Now, they sat in the car, they talked, and the accused had made mention that he killed Brett McKinnon, and that
the
adrenaline... No, and he mentioned, like, the adrenaline rush that he got from that to strangle someone and watch them die. Like, this kind of fucking terrified Cheryl, right? So, like, she was, like, she wanted to have a bit of reluctance towards that to come forward, definitely, with this info, right? Because it took her a while to come forward with this. I mean, why wouldn't it, right? Because you're scared shitless or whatever. So, like, some thought that she was against Tom, like, because she had, like, some minor-ass charges that she faced or, like, theft or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, the reason was that, like, Flynn was just so fucking terrified of this whole thing. Like, this videotape statement was actually taken in 2012. So, yeah, It was a conversation.
Can you imagine being this girl, being interviewed by the police about charges you've got, also having that information in your head, knowing what he said, and can you imagine when he said it to her, how much fear she would have, and then to be able to tell the police, like you say, she must have been absolutely bricking it, because what if they didn't believe her and then he found out?
Yeah.
You've got that fear, and people do say, like, why didn't they just come forward? But when you're in that situation and you're in that world, it's so scary.
Well, it's totally different, I would imagine, right? Like, even in her like police statement here, like Flynn told police that she knew Barrett for like several years, and they just used to go for coffee, right? There was no relationship involved or whatever. And it was just during one of these chats that Barrett had made the confession to her about killing Brett. It was just like out of the blue. So she said that he confided that he committed murder. He told me that I don't know why, but I get an adrenaline rush and I strangled her. So Flynn said that she was like in total shock about this. I just listened while he talked because of his temper. He's just a very dangerous man, she said. So like all this shit was just critical for police, right? Like all this info was held on to. And about a year later in 2013, Cheryl actually died from an accidental overdose.
Really? You think she did die of an accidental overdose?
Yeah, I knew her from home there. So yeah, I remember when she passed away, yeah.
When she did pass away, she wasn't in any connection with Tom.
Not that I didn't really know anything about Tom.
That's what that's what I would worry. That's what would worry me is, was it an accidental overdose or was it something that he did? Like, if she bought the drugs off him?
But it's probably unlikely, isn't it? I mean, if she was doing drugs, there's a very good chance.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's very easy to kill somebody if you're dealing those drugs. You put stuff in there that you're not supposed to. You know,
wouldn't doubt him, would you? But you wouldn't say no, definitely not for him. But you'd hope that they'd know what she died of.
Yeah, hopefully. That's what would worry me.
Yeah, but there's like the evidence that she gave them, this was allowed to be used in evidence, like even though she passed away. And a few that watched the video, like they had their doubts that Cheryl was sober or whatever, right? That they thought that she was on drugs when she confessed all this, but she just, and that she wanted to like clear some charges that she was guilty of or whatever. But police used this as evidence against Barrett, and then it became known as like the beyond the grave statement. So some wanted it like excluded from the evidence because she was known for some drug use. But
his lawyers would have pushed that massively.
Yeah, but like the judge allowed it because Cheryl was able to recount details. It was like a clear and very like sequential fucking manner or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And she appeared to have like no motive to lie against this either, right?
Yeah.
So like the focus was now on Barrett.
This is somebody in that world that gets told something and it's probably eaten away at her until she's told them.
Yeah.
Because how scared you'd be, and I imagine she probably knew them.
What's that?
I imagine she probably knew the girls because
over time I would have said like maybe paths would have crossed or whatever, but I mean there was a bunch of people that ended up actually coming forward with info about the accused too. Like they openly mentioned like that he mentioned he was involved in Brett's murder. So like he'd be like, fucking, yo, you fuck around, I'll fucking do the same as I did to her or whatever, right?
Yeah, because how many years has it been now?
Fuck. This was 2012, so yeah, it's 10, 12, 13 years, something like that.
Right, so you go across and you've got away with it for a few years, and you really do think that you're not going to get caught?
Well, yeah, like there was this, like Brett's was in 2006, her murder was in 2006, and this is going into 2012, 2013 now.
Yeah,
so
can you imagine you feel invincible, and the fact that you said he gets this rush, the fact, and we know from documentaries and things you've watched about serial killers or people that enjoy killing somebody, that rush you cannot get from anything else.
Yeah, and like that's the one thing you keep chasing or keep looking after, right? You're not looking after, but like you keep trying to get back.
And you wonder what his escalation would have been. Because he wouldn't have just killed straight away. There would have been an escalation at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I wonder, like, is there people that have been murdered? Is there more people, or is there people that he's sort of like raped and things? Do you know what I mean?
Like there's like some people mentioned that he actually kept the body up in one of the bedrooms there, and like all the people that. Yeah, like all the people that gave statements to police, like they were all consistent with their fucking stories. Like everybody said the same fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
And like
They
even
kept the body.
like shortly after all this, like they set up the trial and everything. So like I said, like before there, I mentioned one of Barrett's old girlfriends. Like she spoke up in the Sydney courtroom. This was about an incident back in 2006, like where they were like doing drugs and everything. So Tom actually ended up with like a bruise on his shoulder and his back, but she didn't think anything of it. And eventually one time, Tom had told her that the bruise had come from moving around a fucking body of a girl that he had killed, but he never identified her name. Like he never mentioned her name.
Right.
To her. And then she also testified like about seeing Barrett at like Brett's house and shit like that a couple times. And like there's another guy here too. He told the courts that he spoke to Barrett about a month after her body was discovered in 2008. Now, this guy was named Andrews. So he testified that Barrett had mentioned the reason that he killed her was because she was stealing drugs from him and that he strangled her. And the reason,
let's face it, we bet you fucking any money that's because he's offered her those drugs and then asked her to pay for it and she wouldn't. And in his eyes, she's stolen because she won't sleep with him and she won't give him the money.
Yeah. So
and that's
like
how it works. That's how they get you. That's how they get these girls to have sex with them.
Yeah, and after like the whole strangling thing, like he like figured out like he knew that she was dead because of the way her pupils had changed and there was no life in her eyes. Now the court also looked back on like Cheryl Flynn's statement here. So they had like how it was a few years old, like I mentioned, because it was like what 2009 or whatever, and then she mentioned this in 2012. Right. Just seemed like it was like a big enough time gap where things could like be forgotten and like memories can fade over time. But I mean, like in spite of the time gap and everything, like no serious issue was made like as to Flynn's memory, and like Cheryl had no motive to lie. And even to the cop like that interviewed her, like he was a cop for like 14 years here, so he said at the time like she was very coherent and very aware of everything that was asked. She replied and spoke totally fine, promptly.
It's only his lawyers probably that are trying to say that she was on drugs, or people on the internet that just want a reason to doubt her.
Yeah.
You know,
I can.
But you can imagine. I imagine in your lifetime, somebody said something to you that's stuck in your mind, and you can remember where you were, how you felt, how they said it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, definitely. Like that's
and that's not murder. That's something probably completely different. But the way your body reacted to that, you remember that memory and how it was.
Yeah. Well. A little clip here. Let me know if I can play that here. You can still hear me,
I'm sure you can. Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay, let me see if this works. If not, I guess we can just fucking edit or whatever. So this is just a clip from Cheryl's.
We were just talking about the kids and talking about stuff, and he just out of the blue said, "Cheryl," he said, "I need to talk to you." He said, "I know I can confide in you, and I know it won't go anywhere." He said, "You always at the end," I can clearly remember him saying, "I know to go to your grave." And he said, "Cheryl," he said, "I committed a murder." And I just looked at him, I said, "You what?" And he said, "I don't know why," he said, "but I get an adrenaline rush." He said, an adrenaline rush. I was just like, I was mortified. I just didn't know what to say. I really wanted to get out of the car and run because I didn't know what he was capable of doing.
Like few others that were involved that night. Like there were a couple that were charged with accessory after the fact, like in connection with the death. There was one 49-year-old man and a 37-year-old male. So there was one that helped unload a carpet that Brett was rolled into. So she was put into a vehicle and then she was transported and dumped. And then 2 years later, she was found. This was 2008, so she went missing 2006. So yeah, like that tale goes here, like shortly after Brett's murder, she was rolled up into a carpet, placed in the trunk of a car, and then drove to a ballpark. So then the carpet was unloaded in a wooded area, and then the pair drove back. Something was tossed out the window on the way back. This was believed to be like an identification card.
Right.
So they dinged this guy here.
Sorry, Chris, this carpet, did they leave that with her body then?
Don't think so.
No,
I think they believe they would have took that with them and just dumped her body.
But they know from fibers found on her then, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Because they would have checked certain shit too.
But she would have been there for quite a long time, hadn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, this was like a remote. It was like not so much remote, but like it was just out of the way that nobody really thought to fucking go there, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, unless it's hunting, I suppose, and how much wooded area there is. I mean, the chances of them going that way was just not luck, because that sounds awful, but you know, it was just lucky that those hunters went that way, because they could have gone any other way.
Yeah, exactly. So they ended up dinging that guy there that helped Barrett like that night. Like he ended up getting I think 3 years for that, and he ended up getting
years.
Yeah, he ended up getting 1.5 days credit for every day that he was in custody. So like he pretty much in reality, he only served 1 year.
That is fucking crazy.
For
ridiculous.
For helping get rid of a young girl, like, can you imagine the conversation?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I just think these people that do this, and it is crime related, but it's not crime related, because they're not people that owe you thousands and thousands of pounds for drugs. These are just young girls that probably wouldn't have sex with him.
Yeah. It's not justice at all, is it? That's disgusting.
And these people have helped dispose of their body and I mean, maybe they did think about it every day. Let's hope they did, but it's just the sort of people they are. It's disgusting.
Yeah, like in reality here, like it's pretty fucked up. But like in reality, like Barrett ended up being charged with second-degree murder and Brett McKinnon's death. And then even though there was like no cause of death, like strangulation wasn't ruled out. Like all this shit happened over drugs. I mean, that's pretty fucking terrible, right?
Yeah.
So the verdict was read there, and like there was little reaction from Barrett. Like he faced an automatic life sentence, but he's still eligible for parole. So in parole eligibility for like second-degree murder ranges from 10 to 25 years, and it's actually set by the judge. So all this was set in motion from witnesses that ended up coming forward. They had Flynn's video evidence that I tried to play, and then we just skipped for a whole fucking minute.
We will pop that on our page as well. And actually, Chris, if you send it to me, I should be able to put it on the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah,
and there's another clip I wanted to send you there too about a guy talking about Brett's murder or whatever.
Yeah.
No names or anything.
Chris, if you can get it in the right place on the podcast, then feel free. But I'm not that great. I'm not that good at editing.
Yeah, it's just
that's no problem. I can fucking figure it out later. Not
Chris,
a big deal.
This is why Chris is going to become a regular guest. See?
Oh, it's all good. So, like, even though Flynn like passed away, whatever, like they still took her video evidence and shit. And the defense lawyer here, Brian Bailey, during all this court shit here, they actually painted a picture of the witnesses because like Flynn used drugs and they were criminals, and like question about their credibility and shit, right?
Let's question the credibility of the guy that helped move the body.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, you know, you've got this girl that's come into police and gone, actually, this is the best time for me to say something because I know something and it's eating me up inside, and it could be me. That's what I'd be thinking, like it could have been me. And then you've got people that help move the body, but that's all right.
Absolutely fuck all, that's laughable. But yeah, carry on, Chris.
Sorry, it makes me angry.
Oh, no worries. So a little later on, Barrett was back in like court to face charges on the death of Laura Jessam. So this kind of took a little bit of a turn. So this was from an article I found in 2017. Now Barrett was sentenced to 5 years in prison for an accessory after the fact in the death of Laura in 2012. So Barrett admitted to placing her body in the hockey bag and then tossing it into the river in 2012. So with the time that he already spent in custody, Barrett would not serve any additional time on the accessory condition. So
why did they not put it forward as a murder case then?
Don't know. Trial judges, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It was just pretty much just his life sentence that he got for the murder of Brett in 2006. Like originally, Barrett was charged with second-degree murder in Jessam's death, but the charge got withdrawn by the Crown when witnesses recanted, or like there wasn't really much forensic evidence to go off of. And the judge during this was Frank Edwards. So he mentioned that justice was not being served here, mainly because people who could have testified refused to do so. So following this sentence, Laura's mom, Edna, she told Barrett, "I hope you rot in hell." And then she told reporters that Laura's death was for nothing. So Barrett himself had addressed the court saying, "I pled guilty to exactly what I done. I recognize it as a terrible crime." And he did not apologize to the Jessam family.
No, because he wouldn't apologise, because in his head he hasn't done anything wrong.
No, he's got away with it, so why would he apologise, bastard?
These sort of people,
exactly.
Even though they've done it and they know they've done it, once there's a story in place, that is the story they're sticking to, and that is what happened.
Yeah, like like his fucking, like even his like time in jail and everything, like. This was in Central Nova Scotia Correctional Center. Like he was actually stabbed over 40 times. This was in June. So, yeah, there were like 5 accused in the stabbing role or whatever. I'm not going to go into names, but like he survived or whatever, and he didn't give up any names in the attack on him.
Well, no, because you can't, can you? That's the thing.
Yeah, like he was in really bad shape.
When you want to be a gangster, this is the game you play, isn't it?
I just can't believe that sentence. It's fucking ridiculous.
The thing is, my husband said to me the other day, we were watching something, I can't remember what it was, and he got sentenced to one murder charge, and then they were doing another one, and he went, "Why don't they just put it all together?" And I said to him, the problem is, if they put it all together and they just get one sentence, I said, if they overturn that sentence, then they're left free. Yeah. I said, but do you know what? If they hadn't have maybe rushed this and maybe not charged him yet and waited until he'd done a lot of his time, maybe DNA would get better, because it's getting better every day. Maybe
there's a lot of maybes. They could have had him on different charges.
And now they can't, because they've done it.
Yes.
Does that make just maybe if they would have waited, kept what they've got, waited it out. He wasn't going anywhere. He was in prison.
It's just fucking ridiculous. Who knows? That's fucking.
But
it's not justice, is it? It's not justice.
I get it, because of Laura's family. It's like they've got to wait, and there's no justice there. But actually, no justice has been served anyway,
whatsoever. I mean, he's murdered 2 girls, and what?
And boasted to everybody and anybody that will listen about it.
Yeah, I mean, give him a free pass for all his other crimes. Pretend we do that. He's murdered 2 fucking girls. It's really sad. That family must be distraught.
Well, I mean, even like some people say that the reason he got stabbed was either because of the murders of Laura, Jessam, and Brett. There's a couple others that say like it was from like a fucking one of the guards that he had assaulted there the previous time at one point or another. Who knows, right? But he ended up living, and the 2 girls were fucking dead. I mean, all this shit stemmed from like drugs and booze.
Yeah, I don't condone violence like that in that respect. But if I was the mum of that, of Laura, I could really see myself paying someone to fuck him up. I really could. After that sentence, I'd be like, "That's a slap in the fucking face."
I'm the sort of person that would want to seek justice myself. Like if they ever got
because
out,
it didn't get served.
No,
you go through the fucking appropriate channels to get your justice. And she's fucking giving that, what the actual fuck?
The thing is, though, like I said, if they maybe would have just waited that out, got all their evidence together and just waited, because DNA, like I said, is getting better every day, just by 1,000,000%. The things that we can do now that we couldn't do. And I know that she was put in water, and I know that has an effect, but she was in a bag that had come from his house.
Who knows?
Oh, the bag. Actually, that hockey bag, actually, that she was in, that was actually, we have heavy garbage pickup here. No, I don't know if you guys have it there or whatever. Like, you throw out like your heavy shit or whatever, like broken washers, dryers, and shit.
No, we're not allowed to do
that. So this was the hockey bag was actually fucking at the end of the curb for like garbage pickup or whatever.
No way.
So they grabbed. So
yeah, there you go.
That was grabbed from there.
Can I just ask, the guy that was there when he killed this girl, whatever happened to him?
He just pretty much just got the 1 year for accessory with his time that he served in custody.
Why did they not lay it onto him and go with him with massive
I believe
charges?
he had like some other robbery shit that he was going on that he did too.
I know we're not police officers, and I know we're not in the justice system, but could you imagine if you'd have laid it onto him massively? Maybe he would have then said, actually, okay, for a pass, I will tell you what really happened. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it, but yeah, in an ideal world.
But they maybe could have done. I just maybe think if they would have waited on Laura's case, just maybe waited.
But then wait for what? If no one's going to turn on this guy, like you said, the hockey bag didn't belong to any of them.
No,
there
I
was
get
nothing linking them
but
back.
The thing is, Sam, DNA is getting better 1,000,000% every single day. She was in the water, but I guarantee you there would have been some sort of DNA on her, something. There would have been something on there, and he's admitted to throwing it in the water. So they must have found something on there to link him to her, for him to admit that. Otherwise, you wouldn't admit it.
I don't know. I'd like to know if there was anything that they found DNA. Or if there was, what was it?
Do you know, Chris?
They, what it was, like they fucked around with all that. Like, hang on. Because the hockey bag there, they actually had a name tag on it. That was like from a Glace Bay fucking hockey or whatever.
That was like John down the road.
yeah, like that was already thrown in the garbage. So they look back at that guy for that.
Sorry, Chris, what was that?
Oh, like the name tag that they found in the hockey bag, like that was from the guy, like the previous owner that owned that bag before it was thrown out for like the heavy garbage pickup and shit. Mm-hmm. So they had to go back and ask him, and then the guy said like, "Oh, there was a carload of guys that came here and grabbed the bag and they fucked off or whatever." Right? That's pretty much.
Can you imagine being that guy and having the police come to you and there's a girl that's been murdered that's in your bag? Like, can you imagine how you'd feel?
Yeah, he was questioning everything too, but everything planned out. Yeah, so everything with Tom here, like he'll eventually be fucking eligible parole here soon enough.
Well,
so I mean, I guess
hope that both of those families go to every single parole hearing and write to the judge and write to the parole board and try and keep him in there. And let's hope that he's done so much bad shit in prison that they won't let him out anyway.
Maybe
we'll see.
Stabbed for the last time.
You will have to make sure you follow this to see if he does ever get. When is he up for parole?
I usually. What's that?
When is he up for parole?
That was up to the judge, so that was anywhere from like 10 to 15 years or something, I think he said.
So when did he get sentenced? Sorry.
He was charged 2013.
Oh, I think
so it's 11 years ago.
So
it's gotta be like 50s now or something.
Another couple of years.
Yeah.
He'll be up for parole. Oh man, I hope he doesn't get parole. What are your parole boards like?
Not overly sure. Well, it depends on like they'll deny. Depends if like they're high risk or whatever, right?
A lot of them like you to admit, don't they? Once you've admitted, they're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, here you've just got to be in prison, and then they go, yeah, you've served your time. Off you go.
Well done, pat on the head.
Well done. Let's let you out early because you've been so well behaved in prison.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know there's another case. Did you ever see the case about a little boy called Arthur?
That one, and he was on train tracks or something there. And
that was James Bolger. I can't cover that because my heart just can't do it. If you ever want to cover that, I would love to come and do this again with you, but I can't research it myself. Do you know some cases you just just can't do.
Yeah, no, I there's a lot that stuck with me that I've fucking done, like that Moore's murders or whatever. Like I found a transcript of like everything that they did with that fucking 10-year-old girl, and then fuck, that just burned into my brain for like 2 months. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, and James Bolger, because how old were we when that happened? We were only about 10, I reckon, weren't we?
No, we were younger than that.
Younger than that?
Yeah,
maybe
I can't think
like
off the top of
7.
my
Well, I
head.
remember it. I remember seeing it on the news, or I remember something about it, but I can't quite remember how old I was. And then I was really young. I must have only been about 13, 14. I watched a documentary on it, and it basically it just destroyed my soul. I think like my heart was just broken, and even now I can't bring myself to do it. Just the thought of having your child taken in a shopping centre, and that I just can't.
It was in 93.
93. So how old were we in 93?
We were 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. So yeah. So Arthur was a recent case here. Again, a lockdown case, and his dad, his mum went to prison for stabbing her boyfriend. So she went to prison for murder. He went to live with his dad and his grandma, and then his dad moved in with his girlfriend, and she had children, but for some reason she didn't like Arthur, so she abused him and she made him drink salt, and she is just an awful person. And they both were texting each other about how they were going to hit him and what they were going to do to him, and they only got, I think originally, I'm going to say, don't quote me on this because I'm just putting out there's a ballpark. So originally they got like 9, one of them got 9 years, one of them got 10 years.
It was something like
that. And then obviously then they appealed it, and the judge upped it because there was such uproar in the justice system for this, because you've got Star's case where they hardly got anything. Are you Googling it?
Yeah.
And then you've got this case, and there's a video of him, and he's trying to put his duvet away. He sleeps on the bedroom floor, the front room floor with cameras, and he's trying to put his duvet away, and he's so tiny, and like you can just tell in that video that how ill he was.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. And the family reported it to police, and police and social services said they couldn't find any abuse. And you look at him and you think, how the fuck did they not see he was being abused?
Yeah, it was 29 years life and 21 years.
That was the second sentence.
Yeah, it was the second sentence.
Yeah, the second sentence, they got 29 years.
But I can't see quickly with a quick scan
with the first one, but it was uproar on that. And I think you look at these people, you look at these cases and what they get, like 1 year for helping dispose of a body. How does that make you not give a shit about doing that again?
Yeah, but I mean, if you get caught with shit, I mean, you're just gonna fucking, I don't know. You're either gonna become better or just, it depends on whatever lifestyle you're into. I imagine. Like, I fucking done some terrible shit in my time too. But
if someone came up to me and said, I've just killed this person, can you help me dispose of this body? I'd be like, absolutely fucking not. Unless it was one of my children, then you don't know what you do. But you just don't, what would your mindset be to be like, yeah, I just killed this girl, she's a fucking bitch, can you help me dispose of her? Yeah, put her in my car, mate.
However, though, I guess it's a situation because we're thinking about it with our friends. Our friends aren't scary. Our friends aren't okay, our friends aren't ruthless, scary psychopaths all in one go. A few of them are either or.
Can I just say, Chris, that Sam, I feel like, is borderline psychopath.
Oh no, full blown.
Full blown.
Full blown.
Full blown.
But I think we just look at it from our points of view with our friend groups and sort of the interactions and relationships that we have.
I look at it as the justice system is sometimes just fucking shit.
Oh, fuck it, sometimes. A lot of the time.
I bet you any money the guy that helped dispose of this girl, I bet he's done more prison time for probably drugs than he has for that.
Most likely.
What do you reckon, Chris?
What's up?
I said the guy that helped dispose of her body, I bet he's done more prison time for drugs.
Oh, probably than he would have had a hand in that or whatever. I would assume so. Plus, like the other guy with the vehicle and whatnot that he used to fucking transport and shit. So, I mean, there's always like ties into everything, right?
Yeah, and that's what makes people angry. I think people like us angry and want to share these stories because.
Well, yeah, like I'm always angry. Like
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, exactly. But honestly, if you did James Bulger's case, I would love to do another.
I could do that with you, no problem. That
I
works.
can't. I'll probably cry. That's the only
No, that's fine. I do a lot of crazy shit. Like this one here is like it's not bad. I mean, like it's a fucking story about Cape Breton, and all this information's already out there on the fucking internet. That's pretty much where I got it from. And
I like these stories because who else would have done this?
Yeah.
Who else would have covered this?
Somebody else.
No, but I don't think they would have though.
It's not one I've ever heard before.
Stories like this, little smaller stories like this, when they don't get massive sentences and there's not this big
media coverage,
a lot of podcasts don't do it.
It's usually if you've got some sort of tie to it, like you have, Chris, and we've done a few lesser cases that we've had ties to in one way or another.
Yeah, I agree with you. What was the Holly and Jessica Wells? So we were only about 12 when that happened.
Holly and Jessica. Soho.
Yeah. Yes. We Ian Huntley. That's who we had a connection to that because it happened when we were younger and we remember it.
And the Rose murders, that was people that were related to my mum and
So I do think, I do. I like these sort of stories. The only reason why I don't do as many of them is because of the information.
It's hard. But no, you've done really well, Chris, to get what you did. Well done, mate.
Yeah, no, it took me like a week to fucking go through. There's a clip I'm gonna send you here to. I asked if it was cool if I could add this. This is from like a guy who lived around that area and shit. So
yeah,
so I'll send that to you here.
Put it on.
We definitely put it on.
Yeah, but if you can add that in, and then you can say your little spiel or whatever.
If you want us to do a case and you come on, you have to let us know because we can do that.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, then I can just chill and be like, oh, holy shit, did this guy do this? Wow. Yeah. All right, perfect. That works.
You're putting out about 3 a week, so you're just killing it.
You are.
I just spend a lot of time fucking writing shit, so it's just it kills time anyway.
So what's your final thoughts on this then, Chris?
That was a terrible fucking thing that happened over drugs, and people just got into the wrong fucking shit.
Yeah.
People just, I don't know, mental health is a big fucking thing now. So, I mean, maybe it should have been a little bit more looked at back then too, but still, just whatever. It just sucks that people are fucking dead and that the families had to suffer through all this shit. Pretty much the end game on that, I guess.
Yeah, and people are still so behind on mental health anyway. And people don't recognise the decline in other people enough or care enough to get them help.
Yeah.
You know, like he was probably not really close to his family, maybe, I imagine.
See, I don't know. Like, a couple of people messaged me, like, said his old man was, like, just an asshole and shit. And it's all I can really touch on. But, I mean, like, even, like, the people that, like, stabbed him and everything in there, like, all that, like, everything comes full circle, I guess, sometimes.
Oh, yeah, definitely does. I mean,
like, this is just a fucking case here that, like, somebody, like, literally wanted me to fucking do this. Like, I get viewer requests and shit, right? So I'm like, whatever. And this guy's in jail and everything. It's like, okay, well, here's your little fucking shit that I found on the internet. And then here's fucking some people messing me about it. Slap this all together. And then you just randomly talk about it. That's it. So
you done really well, dude.
Yeah, really good. Well, it's nice to finally talk to you because Sam talks to you more than me.
I do.
Yes, she always just tells me to fuck off and whatever.
That would be mean. I'd be like, fuck off, I'm fucking busy. Or to be fair, I'm a silent partner on the page.
You are.
Oh, it's all good. I'll send you guys here a clip there if you guys wanted to play that and then talk a little bit about that amongst yourselves or whatever.
Yeah, send it over.
Definitely will.
And then if you can put it in the middle where it needs to be, that'll be great. But otherwise, I'm gonna have to put it at the end.
Oh yeah, no. If you send me this recording, I can fuck with it probably.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be good. Well, it was lovely, and really good case because obviously I didn't know anything about it, and you probably, if you listen to ours, every time Sam does a case, I pretty much know what it is. So I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
No, it was cool just to hop in and like just here you go, right? Like something that you never heard of or whatever. It's usually what I do, right? I'll find lesser known shit and I'll just be like, here you fucking go, and that's it.
Yeah, I like fair that though. That's the podcast I look for. Like you say, all the Ted Bundys and and people like that. It's good to get people's perspective on it sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I'll do
so
Bunny
well
one
done.
day. Like, I'll get to Bunny one day. Trust me, he's
Yeah.
like my fucking
But
he's like.
It'll be your own take on it, which was like we've done like a few like 1 or 2 serial killers, but we haven't done many because it's so much work that goes into it. 'Cause there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
You've got to be in the right mindset, definitely.
Oh,
But no,
I'm never.
thank you so much, Chris, for being our first ever guest. And I said, I can't remember who it was to now, but I was really excited to get a man, like a male, get a man, to get like a male perspective on the pod, because it's just us rambling, isn't it, usually?
Yeah.
So it's really, really good to get like the male perspective on it.
Well, I know all our listeners will love you.
Yeah,
for sure.
And your creamy, smooth
awesome.
voice.
Yeah, you'll probably get a lot of that lovely voice.
Well, Bridie's going to be taking you to bed now. You're in her phone forever.
Yeah, you have to remember
There we go. All right. Well, everything was awesome. I appreciate that. I told you guys I'd fucking do this. I just slept in, so sorry.
No, that's fine. We don't mind.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Chris.
No problem. You guys have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, bud, sorry it took me so long to get this done, but back in 2007, I rented from Tom Barrett's mom up on Fish Street in number 2. It'll be kind of a long story. I'll make it as short as possible. I lived there when me and my girlfriend moved there with our newborn son. I was 17, she was 18. So my aunt, who's an RN, helped us get the place and get everything we needed and stuff like that. And every time she came over, she could swear, like she would tell me, you got to get your landlord to go under the house. You have some kind of dead animal or something under there. She said, all I can smell is decay. She's like, there's a dead raccoon or a dead cat or something underneath this house. She's like, you gotta go get your landlord to check it out. I never did, just because I couldn't smell it. I didn't know what to smell for. But there was that winter, we ran out of oil, and I was using the old Cape Breton way to heat the house. As a kid, I had the stove on with the door open, and I ended up blowing fuses. So I actually went up through my attic over in Tom's side and dropped down into his half of the house, which I told all the cops that came to talk to me the same thing. He was in jail at the time on other charges, and I just happened to be looking around the house. I noticed there was a bag of shotgun shells hanging underneath the canopy to his daughter's bed. I looked around, could not find the gun anywhere or anything like that. It was just a bag of shells, like not shot off or anything, live ammo. And I ended up just grabbing the fuses, went back over my side, never thought much of it. We were there a few more months, and his niece, which was our friend from school, had told us that he was due to get released from jail soon. And we were thinking, like, fuck, we don't want to be 2 young kids living next door to this guy with a newborn baby. Like, God knows what's going to be around. So we ended up deciding to move. And we ended up moving down on Sterling Road. But it was a couple from Ontario moved in right after we moved out. And shortly after Tom got out of jail, they were putting in complaints that he was rummaging around underneath the house and stuff like that. And it being his mom that owned the place, she never did anything about it. So they ended up calling the cops. But Tom was after leaving that night, and I guess broke his probation or something like that. And I was told they went under the house, police officers, to see what he was doing under there, because the neighbor said, like, they could hear him rummaging around and sounded like he was digging. They ended up finding, like, a shallow hole there and nailed to the floor joist right above it was the sawed-off shotgun that I couldn't find to go with the shells. But yeah, after that, it was like, I think it was 2 weeks later, they ended up finding Brett McKinnon's skull over in the number 11 pit yard. And my aunt swears to this day that the smell that she was getting under the house was the smell of her body decaying, rotting under there. And I just never went to look. Fast forward a couple of years, it's probably 2012, maybe 2013. I'm living up on Daniel Drive, and my girlfriend calls me and says, "What were you doing in town last night?" I said, "I wasn't in town last night. I was home with you. Why?" She said, "There's 2 detectives at the door wanting to talk to you about an incident in town last night." Knew nothing about it. Turns out it was just a lie. And they met me at my house when I got home from work. They waited for me. And they were investigating Tom for Brett's murder, and was told that I actually went under the house to get into his side, seen Brett's body there, freaked out, and moved because of that, and never said anything to anyone about why I moved. But it wasn't the case. I even told the cops, like, no, I went through the attic space. Like, it had nothing to do with me going under the house to find anything or anything like that. It was just purely coincidence that somebody had said it, and turns out that that's where they think that she was. But other than that, I wasn't contacted again. I don't know if anything else came out of it or anything like that. Not sure if any of it helps, but like I said, I told you, I give you my version of events from what I know of them.
Twisted Tales.